welcome back to our channel Autistic Multiple Life. Our channel was created to erase stigma around autism and dissociative identity disorder and other conditions in dissociative spectrum and other type of neurodiversity. I don't know who is now fronting. Sometimes this happens in system when someone don't understand who is now fronting, maybe because we spent most of our life in cocoon. And in this video I want to speak about sex and sexual life and a relationship with system, or if you are system. Honestly, it's not the topic that I used to speak about, but many people in Instagram, our subscribers, just want to hear about it when I ask what they want to hear about. So okay, maybe some of you already knew that I have a wife, and she's in a relationship not only with me. Yeah, I think I'm Abu Hamza and Muhajir, not only with me but also with Ayman, with Rumpel, with Eric, with Abu Aziz Al Qureshi. So yeah, I don't know how it works in different other relationship, because it's different rules in different relationship and different systems have their own rules about sexual life and romantic life and about friendship, about other kind of relationship and thing. Yeah, but I would speak about my own experience and experience of subsystems that I know. First of all, about our system. System is polyamory. I completely fine if Lina, our wife, would have a relationship or sex with someone else, and she is completely okay with it if someone from our system, with someone in this body, would have a relationship or sex with someone else. And it's not just because of the system, it's just how it started from the beginning. I really don't understand all the stuff about monogamy, all the stuff that you could control someone else's body. I think it's not the healthy way to build relationship, but of course if some couples decided they don't want to be monogamy, they are not polyamory, it's fully their decision. We don't have something against it. I think people could decide stuff like this. And many systems started polyamory relationship only when they found out that their system and their partners found out that their partner is part of the system, because for example, partner have relationship with an unwalled alter, but after that this person discovered system, and other alters want to build their relationship with another people, and other start to fronting more and want to build relationship with other people, or want just to have sex with other people. And so after that they decided that if it's one body, this couple decided that if it's one body but several different person, is completely okay if this person, if people in this body would have a relationship with and or sex with different people. And second, about us, and that me and Lina and Ayman, we are romantic, so we don't understand the concept of love, and I am completely okay about sex without any relationship, just like Lina. And not all in our system are romantic. For example, Rumpel, he's our romantic alter. One of the reasons why he became who he really is, why he was born like an alter. It's because people try to make us believe that we are less than people if we don't believe in love. We don't think that love is real. I believe in love, love exists, but we don't believe that love is something that we needed. I don't believe that love is something that they needed, and our culture is just about romantic love. And when we was traumatized and have some problems in the relationship with Lina and have big psychological problems, Rumpel was created because it just was this desire, maybe, if someone could love someone from this body could love someone, everything would be fine. And partly it was because of this deep trauma when people try to fix us because we are romantic. We don't believe that I need to be fixed or I need to be fixed. But it's how it works. And sometimes it happens in different systems. That some alters are romantic alters and other are not. And also alters could have different sexual orientation, different gender identity, and of course it all could be tricky if you have sex with someone, because for example it could be lesbian women who's fronting, and after that gay men came. This lesbian woman switched, and as alter who's gay man appeared here, and he don't want to have sex with women. Well, some alters could be asexual, other alters not asexual. I'm really happy that we don't have this kind of problems. And another kind of problems that system could have in the sexual life is because of littles, and this kind of problems we really have. When littles started to front during sexual act, and it's really unpleasant because most of the times they just didn't really could understand and realize what's going on, or if they realize it, they became nervous. They don't like it most of the time, because littles is just like child alter, and child alter in adult body. And if your partner realizes they have sex with child, it could be disgusting for them, like it was disgusting for Lina. So it's really not this kind of sexual situation that someone think most of the I couldn't really imagine someone who want to have this kind of situation, because I just now thinking that how many problems we have because of it. This kind of sexual act could be traumatized for child alters and could be really unpleasant for a partner. So if you are a system, please, my advice to you, just tell about it to your partner. Or if for some reasons you couldn't tell it, for example, if you don't know this person well, just if you understand that child is near you, just stop, just find this kind of reason that's suitable for you now, and don't make sex now when child alter is someone near front, because he or she or they could go in co-front, and after that it could be sex with child alter. In many very often it could be sexual violence against child alter, or it could be situation when child alter could be traumatized. We have this problem partly because of our persecutor. I will speak about her a little later, but our persecutor forced our kids to be near front when we had sex with Lina, and I became really clumsy. I don't understand what's going on with me, why I don't feel this sexual desire anymore, why my body don't feel like always before I found out that I'm a system, that I'm part of the system. And Virba just knew that systems exist before we knew it. And Virba know about littles, and Virba push littles to be in the body because Virba want to punish littles and punish Iman. Virba was thinking that we are not good enough, that we are evil in many ways, and we need to suffer just to become more pure, and that it's wrong that Iman is transgender person, so we need to feel gender dysphoria just in more stronger way. She really want to punish us for being a transgender. It's become easy when we found out that we are a system because we find a way to speak with Virba, with our prosecutor. Also, we find a way to speak with our littles. Our littles really don't like to be in the body when we have sex, but sometimes they just don't know how to stop it, don't know how to stop Virba from pushing them, or don't came. So we're thinking about different stuff like check our body and check our feeling. Most of the times we just knew how it feels when someone a little near front, and other stuff we just, if we notice that one of the little near fronts, just it was very important not to feel this panic that we sometimes feel when we was having sex and after that littles appeared. Not to feel this panic and just calmly to tell them go away, to wait a little bit. So speak with your littles and check if they're near. And another stuff, it's about prosecutors. Like I said, Virba have many problems. Virba is a girl. She is 12 years old. She could feel sexual desire, and sometimes she wants to harass other people. This is the biggest problem that we have. Lena don't want to have sex with Virba, of course, but Virba could threaten at us that she would harass Lena, or she would harass some of our friends, because she wants us to want this body to become, or she wanted because she have this sexual desire, or because she wants this body to become pregnant. So sometimes she threatens us to harass some men. It's never happened, and I think we never let this happen, but it's real unpleasant. And yeah, some systems could have these problems. They don't know what could help except of system communication, and what helps for me is just don't feel shame for that, because when we feel shame for this, we just try not to think about it, and so Virba could behave more unpredictable, because it's don't let us to speak with her, and because when she feels that we're afraid of her, she'll think that, oh, okay, I'm doing everything right, or okay, they're neuros, so could use it against them. Also, maybe your psychotherapist could help, and I know that sometimes could be really shameful, could feel really shameful to say about it, but it's not your fault. If some of your alters want to harass someone, it's not your fault, don't choose it. So yeah. And also you need to find psychotherapists who understand dissociative identity disorder, or partly dissociative identity disorder, or did who understand it and who understand this kind of problem. So littles, prosecutors, sexual orientation, gender identity, what else? I think trauma and some systems we have, like I said, we have romantic cultures, but some systems, especially systems who was survivors of sexual violence, have sexual alters, and sometimes sexual alters could be even littles, and many sexual alters could be like wow verba, who can be hypersexual, or some of them could just try to please everyone. I don't I don't think that I could speak about it. Really could speak about it because we don't have sexual culture in our system. We have only romantic culture, and with our romantic culture, I noticed that it could be some problems with acceptance because, for example, if most of the system, most of the alters are romantic and one of the alters are hyper romantic, it could be like he really believes in stuff that people try to force us to believe so many years. So aggression toward these people could be toward these alters, toward their altar. And it's the same with sexual altar. If most of the altars are asexual, but after sexual trauma, someone have sexual altar. And other asexual altar could be aggressive toward the sexual altar, and it's something I think it just you need to find a way to accept that this alter who have right to have his own feelings, but in the same time find a balance so these feelings and his actions wouldn't harm you and all of the system. And if behavior of your sexual alter are unpredictable, just try to don't be in the situation when this alter could harm you, could do something silly, could push you in situation when, for example, you would have unsafe sex. Of course, it couldn't work always. Just I think knew that this kind of situation, a pleasant situation, when this alter could have sex with someone that you don't want to have sex, or stuff like this, just could happen. Because even if it happened, it would be better if you could knew that it could happen before it happened. So another stuff about trauma, sometimes it's not just about sexual alters, sometimes it's about some kind of touch. For example, one guy in our school who was in love with Ayman, this guy harassed Ayman and tried to choke Ayman. So sometimes when someone touch our neck, something here, it could be really not just unpleasant in sensory value, but disgusting to us. And I think if you have stuff like this, it's important to communicate with your partner and say it about it. If you want to say it about the reason or not, it's another question, of course. Sometimes it's better to say. I'm really open in these questions, but it's your decision. I would suggest you to be open, but I understand that it could be different situations. And also some, for example, some touch could be triggers, sometimes triggers for alter who survive violence and remember it. So it's the better you knew your triggers, the better for you, I think. Another question is a question about religion. Okay, I think it's many questions, but the next question that I want to speak is about religion because it's a big question for our system. Some of our alters are conservative Muslim, for example Abu Umar, and Lina, our wife, sometimes have sex with Abu Umar. and a boomer couldn't use some sex toys that we could use because for a boomer it's haram. Even for me, Abu Hamza and Mukadir wouldn't use some sexual practice because I'm more liberal in this way. In this way, I'm Muslim too, but I'm more liberal in this question than Abu Umar. And it's cool if your partner understand it. I know that sometimes it could be difficult if different altars who have different religion in the system and so with different rules, but I think that altars really have right to believe. It's what they believe. And if someone forces you to have sex that's against your religion, of course it's sexual violence. And it doesn't matter if someone else in this body okay with this practice. If you say that you are not don't want this practice now, don't want to use this practice now, it doesn't matter if someone else in the system use it. Or for example, if someone in the system use sexual toys but you don't feel okay with sexual toys, if someone try to force you, it's violence. Because anyway, anytime you could say no, and this is respectful reason enough. It doesn't matter if you are system or not. Okay, and I think the last stuff is about communication. And our sexual life really became better when we find out that we are a system. And it was, in many ways, it was because Lena understood that we are a system too. And I think, yeah, about communication with partner, I think it's important if you could say to your partner that you're part of the system. If you have some kind of relationship, it's not just accidental sex, I really advise you to tell your partner or friend or about that you are part of the system, because if it's about friendship or about love, if this person is really like you, I don't think that this person would dump you just because you are a system. Life, I really believe that your sexual life would be better if this person who understands that you are part of the system, who understands all the stuff, all these problems that could be because different alters will have different preferences or different religion or different sexual orientation, or because many systems have problems with rituals, prosecutors, sexual alters. Yeah, but I couldn't of course say that all of you would tell your loved ones or your friends with whom you have sex, or your partners that you are a system, because I understand sometimes it's a question of safety, or sometimes you just don't feel brave enough, don't feel ready. So it's not something that I said that of course you need to do it. I just think that it was better for us, and I think it's better for many systems. Okay, thank you so much for your attention. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to make it more visible, because we really try to make it more visible. And if you have some questions or you want me to make a video to a different topic, just write in the comments. See you next time. Bye.